Geez, I gotta
go. And we are going to make you privy to something a little special, and that is a little breakfast with the legends. I have with me this morning Roddy Piper, longtime friend, Hall of Famer, and also my very dear, close, personal longtime friend, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
I love you.
You guys go back to the main event at WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, that's right.
For crying out loud.
And you know something, too? The foresight that Vince had to where he is now, it was nothing like how when we started, this would ever have been. Wouldn't have happened but he did it.
We were still under the code.
Absolutely.
I think in all due respect, Roddy, we would have had a little better match in that main event if that wasn't the outside the ring love affair between you and Mr. T.
Love affair.
Always one of your favorites.
Oh, baby Jesus. We did not get along. No. We did not.
Nobody did.
No.
Nobody did.
At that time with Paul, again, we came from the code.
Yeah.
And it was beat into us, as
Protect.
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 And if somebody comes into our business that is not part of it, like what Mr. T wanted to do, he wanted to come in, play wrestler, throw our heads together, whatever,
like anybody could do it.
Yeah, and then go up and brag and laugh and how much fun those phony wrestlers are. And what's not understood was with Paul, thank you, sir, and myself, is like everybody in the wrestling industry, from us down, they were counting on us. If we had let T do that,
that's right,
we would have discredited everybody.
Open the door.
All those guys that you've never heard from on the card that were just as great, all down, they were counting on us to keep the business strong and forward.
Don't you think that bringing in mainstream people is part of our business? I'll go back to one. Okay. Muhammad Ali, Cyndi Lauper, friend of yours.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. T was there, but Billy Martin was the ring announcer, and dozens of others.
But they weren't, like Muhammad Ali, he was the special referee and didn't get involved. And besides that, he's Muhammad Ali. But the guy, it was just, and Billy Martin and all those other fighters, Cyndi Lauper, they were all great. They added to everything you're saying, the show business, yes, sir. But T was coming in the ring. I was going to hurt him. I was going to get him down on the floor and let him headlock me. I was going to spike him. And, then it became a matter of honor, and a lot of other things came into it, and flag. I can control the damage, but if I take that route, it didn't suit me in my heart. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, I was right there beside you, brother.
I
Trust
know you
me.
were. After WrestleMania, I'm with Morocco, and I think in People's Airline or whatever, and it's in Time Magazine. And Time Magazine is talking about WrestleMania and pulling us all apart. And then it had a statement. Time Magazine said,
"Thank you.
Professional wrestling is 99% fake." This is Morocco reading it. But he looks at me. Morocco did this. Morocco looks at me in Time. He throws the book. He says, "See, they don't even know." It is or it isn't. Yeah. What are you trying to say here? Yeah. What we were is action sport athletes.
You got to realize, and I'm putting this on us too, what I mean by this. Not everybody could have done that. We were special. That's why we're sitting at this table right now, because we were special. Vince knew that. And the more he did, the more we got bigger.
I think
because we knew how to do it.
Yes, sir.
And we got an opportunity, and if we didn't get an opportunity, we made one.
I know where you're sitting at this table, Paul.
You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, but I know why you're sitting at this table.
100%.
Exactly.
Because I'm picking up the tab.
That's exactly right. You're the one with all the money.
But that's true. If they didn't give us an opportunity, we would take it.
Oh, we were going to do it. I was. I know you were, too.
The thing, I think, we were all in. I heard a fella say, these days there's more TV and than you guys had. So, you know, you got your A match, your B match, you know, and C match. You know, I only got one match.
Yeah.
That's everything I can do. We had a match after the WrestleMania and maybe Boston. We had one match. Baby Jesus. Right. I challenge anybody else to go that hard. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
But yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that. It's one of the best. I could honestly, I got chill bumps.
Yeah.
I can remember that match.
Me too. Holy cow. It was.
No,
I think my point there was that out of WrestleMania and the talent they had, then Paul and I got into a program. We were so conditioned by being in the ring. Every one of us was in the gym in the morning.
Yep.
And was wrestling that night, and was in the gym the next morning for years.
Oh,
there was no
not 2 days a week, not 3 days a week, 5 to 6.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes 7 if it was a pay-per-view.
Yes, sir.
You, me, and Gene, no matter what it was, how the people was, they were all down or whatever it is. They just couldn't. They had a bad night, or they didn't have enough money to buy a Coke for the kids or something.
Yep.
Before it was over with, we had them up screaming at us, throwing stuff in the ring.
Yes, sir.
26 stitches in my lip because of you. Threw a whiskey bottle, a little bitty whiskey bottle, right there, split
Nothing
me
in
open.
it, I hope.
And I bled all over you. I bled all over you. You were bleeding. I was bleeding. We all bled all night long.
Yeah, we did, man.
Guys,
Yes,
if
sir.
I can kind of break in here, dig in, by the way, Roddy and Paul. God, we got to have some road stories. I'm gonna start with you on that one again too, Roddy. Road stories, what we did on the road, and some of the crazy things that happened when we were on the road that you can tell.
Whoa, that limits
Is
it.
that to limit it a little bit?
That limits it a bit up.
But I recall an incident that I only heard about, even though I happened to be there at the time, in Fresno, California. Not me.
I tell you,
I
it
turned it
ain't
off.
me.
You should leave it in. It's great stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, Gene, damn it.
Holy cow. Hard to find those kind of moments. So we were in this Mexican restaurant and everything was on the house, including the tequila. Wah, wah, wah.
Including the tequila.
Including the tequila.
You got a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore, though. And they finally, closed the restaurant, and there's Bobby Orton, Ace, the only man that's had a broken arm for 2 years.
Gene, you want your water?
That's a personal question.
Well, if you're not going to drag it, I won't.
Be my guest.
There you go.
Thank you,
See,
sir.
that's how we used to take care of each other.
Right.
Thank you.
So we left. We had a rent-a-car, and we left. And of course, we needed more alcohol because
Doesn't everybody?
Yes, 6 bottles of tequila is not enough for 3 guys. So we always drove pretty fast. We did so many miles, and Morocco was driving, and we come hard curve, and there was like about 6 railway tracks, like 12 tracks, six
Sure.
things. And as we were turning, the car just slid on a track. Oh, we get out and start to, E equals MC squared.
Survey the damage.
Yeah, we have a predicament. Bobby, we going to tell Bobby Orton, listen, we're going to pick the car up off the track. You dump it in the drive, and we'll tell you when. Okay, so we get back there, and if you ever was around the railway tracks, they got those little pebbles, right? So, okay, Bobby, go! And Bobby hits the gas, and those pebbles are coming like 22 bullets. Ping, 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 and then, Bobby! Ah, you got it. Bobby, no. Anyway, finally Bobby got out of the car because it wasn't working. And just as we got out of the car, it's like, ooh, a train.
Your train.
This ought to be cool.
My train is coming.
Yes. And we were going to watch this train. I'm not embellishing at all. I don't know how it didn't hit the damn car. So we were kind of let down about that, but somehow we get to the hotel, and of course, being responsible, we reported the car stolen. And got into the lobby.
Please.
And there was like SWAT, woo, 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 woo. dogs, you know. And what finally happened was they put me in jail because I hadn't checked into the hotel yet, and they put me in as a vagrant. You know.
Nice room?
I had to, well, after I kicked a few people around and made my space, and, you know, no one's going to bail me out. And finally.
Didn't I bail you out? I remember something. I bailed you out.
I forgot that.
Well, how about that?
You bailed me out. I have Morocco and Ace were useless.
No chance there.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
You're welcome.
There, see, there's things that come back to me like that.
Ribs. I remember so many great ribs, and I remember the guys that were the classic ribbers. I'm going to mention Mr. Fuji.
Whoa.
I'm going to mention Mr. Perfect.
Whoa.
Was he something else or what?
I love Mr. Perfect.
They had some classic ribs that they would play on the boys.
One time, they go back to the wars. I think Sting was going to come out of a hole, or I don't know, something was going on, and they needed 6 wrestlers to be under the ring for whatever it was going to be. And so you needed to get them under before the people came in. And so Mr. Perfect wasn't one of them, and he knew it. So Mr. Perfect went back and had to take a constitutional, and he put it in a paper bag. And he came under the ring like he was one of the guys, just enough to rip the paper bag, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not here? Oh, okay." And they did no. They stayed under that damn ring for 3 friggin' hours with the oozement of the bag.
That's a good rib.
He was great.
He was one of a kind. A great little story. He was out in the AWA, and we went about 30 or 40 miles out
Can I have a couple of potatoes?
Please. Jesus, Paul, you're going to take my
Are you
plate.
going to eat that egg? Oh,
I've got the egg.
Okay. Here we go. You know, I got in the business when I was very young. I was 2.
I remember.
That was my IQ. Johnny Valentine would had a thing, and he would do it in your cowboy hat and your boots.
He had a thing?
He had a thing, and that's what he'd do. Johnny Valentine would come in there, he'd get down like this, and he'd start taking a shit. And he could get that right in a cowboy hat, but the true mastery of it was he could put the Dairy Queen whip on it every time. You know, on the ice cream with Dairy Queen, he could and put the Dairy Queen. Am I bothering your breakfast?
No.
Dairy. Okay.
That's been taken care of already.
Are you kidding me?
No. This gets really.
I'd heard that story.
No, I couldn't handle that.
Then, like a couple months later, thank you, sir. Can you put the Dairy Queen whip on anything?
Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. And my God, you are wonderful.
I am wonderful.
You are.
My wife tells me that every night.
The real test, the litmus test, is does your mother-in-law tell you that?
She's dead.
You got out of that one.
Brother. You got it made. Give me the handbook. Your wife tells you you're wonderful every night and the mother-in-law's dead?
Yeah. I ad-lib everything.
You can't ask for more than that. Paul, I recall you were involved in a classic rib that involved luggage, of all things.
We used to call
yeah.
Paul Oscar. Oscar the Grouch. He got pissed off, man.
That's where you got the name.
I still call that. You just brought it up. Everybody was calling me Oscar. My wife called me Oscar the Great.
Now tell me why they called you
She
Oscar.
did.
I love it. Holy cow.
Tell me the incident about the luggage.
Somebody, I just bought a nice bag, right? And I mean, it's a bag that I was looking at and I'd studied, and finally I went ahead and bought it. You know, I was that way because I'd try to get cheap, you know, and get the
You were
best
close
deal
with
I
the
could.
dollar.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to get good value.
Exactly, I did, you know. And anyway, I bought the bag. And I don't know where it was at. I can't remember what town.
It was many towns, Paul.
Yeah. It was many towns.
And not important.
It was, yeah. But anyway, I go to my bag, and there's about 18 locks all over the damn thing.
Locks?
Locks. Somebody had put locks.
What do you mean, padlocks? Or?
Padlocks to count with the keys, crap, and then they had the round kind that you had a combination, and they put all this stuff on my bag, and I went freaking berserk. If I'd had a gun, I'd probably shot everybody in the damn building just to get the person that did it.
He said,
oh,
this
man.
beautiful bag and like a lock of night.
God, I love that bag too. I've been looking, I did my, I did.
We could hear him coming down the halls to the room.
Right.
Well, that.
It was great. I mean, bad.
Nobody, I'll be honest, nobody ever owned up to it because at the freaking time, I would have. I'm sorry, but I would have because that really upset me.
Boy, did it. I didn't do it.
You don't never mess with a man's bags or shoes or his work stuff.
That's the truth.
And some ass did. And I'll tell you, if I could.
That's a compliment to a lot of people.
We all tried to find out. That's a compliment to a lot of
Well, it worked. I'll tell you what, it worked. But then afterwards, I got thinking about it. It was funny as hell.
Oh, we laughed.
I ended up, I couldn't help it.
Oh.
But it took a while. It took, a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
I finally did.
I'm going to bring this one back from a long time ago.
Whoa.
We were returning from that show in the late 80s over at Wembley in England, London, England.
Yeah.
And one of the guys on that tour, I mean, Greg the Hammer and all of the regular boys, Bret Hart were all there. Roddy, I'm sure you were there. Paul, I don't know, but maybe you were there. And we get into Kennedy Airport, and there is a gentleman from the province of Quebec in Canada by the name of Frenchie Martin.
I love him.
The Halliburton.
Yes.
And he would fill assorted goodies in there. How do you say? How do you say? I don't know if you can say that or not. Looked like a cigar, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And handcuffs and all kinds of lingerie and all kinds of sex toys.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. Then he would get in the airport, walking down the concourse, thousands of people around him, drop it on the floor, and of course it springs wide open, everything flies across the floor, and the people are aghast. They say, what the hell is this? And he's Frenchie going, oh, excusez-moi. I get that.
He was such a gentleman.
And he's walking around picking everything up.
Have you seen my...
Yeah, right. It seemed like the thing to do. Yeah. But really a true character in our business.
I've had I had some mean ones pull on me, but this one here, I suppose, was for me. I can laugh at it now.
But it wasn't funny then.
Not funny then. I decided to paint myself half black for one of the WrestleManias.
That was it.
So Vince went and got to a chemist or whatever, got paint that wouldn't come off when I sweat. I had this pretty lackluster match. And come back and the makeup lady, it was a special solution look, just like water. Take it to take the paint off. And so she's rubbing. About 5 minutes later, the same spot she's rubbing, it's starting to bleed. Andre the Giant and Arnie Skolin threw the solution out, just put water there. Now, I'm in Toronto, Canada. I got to go to Portland, Oregon tomorrow. I look at it. I'm half back. There's only one thing to do. Just go get shit-faced drunk. And I proceeded to do that. And when I woke up, don't judge me. When I woke up in the morning, I had all my clothes on. I was on my bed, but like my hotel room door was gone. I don't know what happened to it. And don't judge me. In the middle of the room was a cowboy hat. And I had a 4-foot Mickey Mouse that I had bought to bring to my daughter. It's in the morning, I got a plane to catch. I got my Halliburton, a 4-foot Mickey Mouse. I got to Chicago, and one of the stewardesses copped an attitude and said I was going to have to check Mickey. I bought Mickey a first-class seat, and we drank all the way to Portland. And it took me like about a month in the sauna to get all that off.
Andre the Giant and Arnie Skolin.
On Arnie Skolin, they switched. What am I going to do? Go beat up Andre and Arnie? But, you know, in hindsight, it's pretty good, Reb.
Tab, please.
All right.
Tab, please.
I love you. I love
you guys, I got to tell you,
brother. Nice.
It has been enjoyable. I hope you didn't just drop by for breakfast.
No, I dropped by so I could get some love.
We'll have to do this again.
Yeah.
How about if we go have a cock? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Well, it's past 5 someplace.
Yeah.
Let's go have a cock.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Cheers, boys.